Well, in your earlier comments, you spoke into the four pillars of implementation, as it were. But I'm still going to ask the question: who and who will be coming on board of this special agency? When will they be coming together to get things started? How soon?
Well, we're still interviewing for the. We've started the process, so it'll take a little while, but we will have that up and running soon, very soon. But in terms of the more detailed work, we've already started engaging with some consultants who are going to help us in terms of the more detailed work.
There's something I need to ask here. One concerns on the street is how to prevent this NERGP from going moribund or dead. So what are the mechanisms here for preventing the mortality of this roadmap?
Well, basically, we have the most important thing that is going to ensure that this is implemented is the total commitment of His Excellency the President. As you saw there, this is his baby. He is committed to its implementation. And he's determined to ensure that he changes Nigeria in a fundamental way. And this plan will change Nigeria in a fundamental way. It will. And so this is a major plank of this administration. We will have regular reporting every 3 months to the Federal Executive Council, so that the Federal Executive Council will monitor what is going on, will report to the Federal Executive Council, and ultimately to the Nigerian people. So there will be regular reports. So the regular monitoring, regular reports. Also, because the plan and the budget go together and they're all within my ministry, every annual budget will be based on the plan. So it's impossible for anybody to forget that we have a plan, because the budget will be based on the plan, and the budget will be done on an annual basis. So every time there's a debate on the budget, it will be a debate on how far have we gone in terms of implementing the plan. So that is one mechanism which the President did right at the beginning by bringing budget and planning together in one ministry under the same minister. He's making sure that the plans have the budget bite. So the budget is supporting the plan. And in that way, this plan will be implemented.
Honourable Minister, my guest host on the show today, Ibrahim Babalola, has one or two questions for you, very quick one. Ibrahim.
Good morning, Honourable Minister. Well done for putting together a fantastic plan for the economy. Will the ministry be releasing, implementation timeline on the ERGPs, which analysts will then be able to use to benchmark the performance of this plan? That's the first question.
Yes, we will. Thank you very much for that question, and thank you very much for the support. We need strong support from the private sector for this to work. Yes, that is the point I was making, that we're going to have a group of experts who we've started talking to and we've started assembling, who are going to work with my ministry staff as well as staff from other MDAs to come out with a more detailed ratio from the 6% right now to 15% during the plan period. We intend to do this principally by tightening loopholes, by making sure that Nigerians pay their taxes. 6% of GDP is extremely low. I mean, the average in Africa, I think, is about 16% of GDP. So the tax, at the moment, the tax collection is too low. So by broadening the tax base, by having more efficient collection of taxes, by improving the technology for administering taxes and customs, And also we are looking at the possibility of some amnesty or some other device that will help, so we can harvest more taxes. And I believe that if we can do this, and which is our plan, to move it from 6% to 15%, and also some of the funding mechanisms that we're looking at, that this committee is looking at, I think it will assure a lot of people that we are serious and that we can meet those revenue projections. Now, with regard to the private sector, I think the private sector, what they want is they want certainty, predictability. They're not certainty, predictability. They want to be very clear what the policies are, and they want to make sure that there's no chopping and changing, that they're consistently applied for a long period of time. Because when you invest today for 3-4 years' time. So you need to have a sense of what the policies are. And then also, so those are the assurances that we need to give, and we are giving to the private sector. And one of the things that we are going to do, in addition, is that we have to make some changes, we will try and ensure that anybody adversely affected by those changes will find a way of making sure that they are made good. Because people are investing on the basis of a particular set of policies. And so those are the sorts of things that I'm sure that we'll want more and more, want assurances from the private sector. And we want to be engaging with the private sector on a regular basis, because we have to also get a feedback. Feedback is so critical. Feedback, you have a particular aim, an objective. You need a feedback, step by step, to make sure that you are in the right direction and to make adjustments, when you're not. So I believe that that is my sense of what the private sector would be looking to from government. And if I were in the private sector right now, that is what I would be looking to from government.
Well, of course, we know. I can guess why you're smiling at that part of the business sector, because from business sector you came, and to business sector you shall return. That is definitely sure, because when you're out of government, you're going to go back to business sector, because that's where you've spent most of your life. But very important question, Honourable Minister, we thank you. Is that do you think at some point that this NERGP requires selling it to the international community via perhaps a roadshow, buying in investment roadshows to foreign investors, whether they're fund managers or direct investors, to the Chinese, to the Europeans, perhaps in Latin America? And do you think we need to get this up there to say, look, we've done Eurobond, we've done this, we are going to do this, but this is what Nigeria's new direction is, 4-year. Have faith in us. We're going to deliver on this, and this is how we're going to do it.
Thank you very much. You just read my mind, and I thank you for mentioning that. We definitely intend to do so, because basically, part of the problem that Nigeria has had is that we don't sell our story. We don't sell our story well. And because I accompanied the Minister of Finance and the Governor of the Central Bank on the roadshow for the Eurobond. And the reception was so I was overwhelmed by the reception. First of all, it is clear that they take us very seriously. They believe we are a government that whatever we say, we mean and we do. That we are committed. That when we say we are fighting corruption, we are serious. That when we say we want to restore the economy, we are serious. And that we have the discipline. That is very important. You must have the discipline, internal and external discipline, in order to be able to achieve your objectives. And this government has the discipline to do so. So we will tell our story, because we need major foreign investment. And of course, portfolio investment is welcome, but our target is foreign direct investment. We want people to come here and build their factories, which is why we're setting up the special economic zones. In those special economic zones, which is part of the plan, those zones, we will make sure that there is 24-hour power, we'll make sure that there is water, we'll make sure that there is security, we'll make sure that the goods can easily be evacuated from there and exported. Because what we want to do is not only we want to improve the quality of Nigerian goods, we want to make goods that are of international standard. Goods, we don't want Nigerians to get second best. So we want to make goods for local consumption that are of international standards and that are good enough to export to our neighbors and beyond. So that story has to be told. And so we will market it. Every opportunity we'll have, we will market it. We'll market the plan, we'll market segments of the plan. We'll market our industrial policy. We'll market our agricultural policy. We'll market our solid minerals policy. But we'll market it not just outside Nigeria. We'll market it in Nigeria. Because foreign investors look for signaling from local investors. So you have to get your local investors. And the local investors can market what we're doing. Private sector can market what we're doing here even better than those of us in the public sector. So we will sell our story, sell it locally, sell it internationally. Most importantly, we have to sell it locally. We have to ensure that our captains of industry, our big investors, they understand, we explain it to them, and they understand it, and then they also carry the message. So we'll market it locally, we'll market it internationally, because we need, from the private sector, we have limited government resources. The plan envisages the financing will be at least whatever the public sector comes up with, and by public sector, I include the states and local governments. Whatever we come up with, we will need at least 4 times as much from the private sector. And private sector funding is unlimited, and so you can get, once you can sell your story, once you can create the right incentive, once you can create the right enabling environment, you can get a lot of investment. And some of that investment that will be coming, which we're talking about foreign investment, will be from Nigerians in the diaspora.